Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the 2013 Rolls-Royce Phantom. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the Phantom. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And before we begin, I'd like to give a big thanks and special shout out to Tobin Rolls-Royce Motor Cars located in Las Vegas, Nevada for allowing me to come out and film the 2013 Rolls-Royce Phantom Series 2. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. It's a black exterior with a matching full black leather interior and color contrast piping on the seats. The doors are also auto self-closing if you fail to close them all the way via a little suction mechanism. The Phantom is a beautiful traditional Rolls-Royce style. Large, flat dash, thin rimmed steering wheel, as well as the ignition off to the left. To start it, just insert the key fob, put your foot on the brake, and hit the little button to start. Wonderfully quiet. The 2013 Rolls-Royce Phantom features speed-proportional power steering and a soft, supple, thin-rimmed leather-wrapped steering wheel. 3-spoke design with black stained ash wood. The Phantom also comes standard with an 8-speed, electronically controlled automatic transmission. All you have to do is pull in and down to activate drive, and then pull all the way in and up for reverse. Once in reverse, your integrated backup camera appears, as well as activation of your parking sensors with integrated guidance lines that automatically adjust as you turn the wheel. To put it back into park, just click the stalk inward. And we're going to flip on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Naturally, all 4 windows are fully automatic. And we're going to check out the exterior, shall we? For over 100 years, Rolls-Royce has set out to build, and I quote, the best cars in the world. While that can be argued over the last half a century, it wasn't until the company gained a new lease on life once BMW acquired the company in 1998. The cars have always been wonderful examples of traditional British craftsmanship, but often lacked modern amenities. Through the developmental and conceptual phases over 4.5 years, a new Phantom under the new ownership was ready to sell January 1, 2003. The car was, as we know it today, the Phantom Series 1. It boasted unprecedented refinement, innovation, and presence while heavily keeping with the Rolls-Royce tradition. It was also the first all-new Rolls-Royce in almost 40 years. Combine world-class traditional craftsmanship with German engineering and you come up with an amazing automotive package, proudly hand-built and built to order in the all-new Rolls-Royce plant at Goodwood in Sussex, England. With its massive proportions, elegant lines, and an impressive automotive pedigree, it's undoubtedly one of the best cars ever built. So how do you improve upon the best? Enter the Phantom Series 2. To the untrained eye, changes are minimal, but a keen eye can see the vital and necessary changes that were made to make the car look more refined, elegant, and beautiful, if you will, than the brawny Series 1. Beginning with the wheels, the Series 2 features restyled and elegant 21-inch polished aluminum alloy units wrapped in run-flat Goodyear Eagle 285/45 tires. One of the most elegant things about the wheels is the moniker in the center cap. perfectly balanced so no matter what, it always remains in the upright position. In fact, you can see it adjusting itself down the road if you look closely. These aren't the only wheels though. The optional star wheels you see here will set you back an additional 10 grand. You also have 4-wheel disc brakes, 4 piston calipers in the front that brings the rolls to a stop from 60 to 0 in around 122 feet. As far as the suspension, it's fully independent with double wishbones in the front and a multi-link system in the rear with self-leveling springs and part of the adjustable air ride system as well as continuous electronic damping. The Phantom is a part of that bespoke vehicle class and custom tailored for each buyer. The process can take from weeks to months, even up to a year depending on the model, level of options, and rarity. It begins life with a beefed up aluminum subframe, both lighter and stronger than conventional steel, that's hand welded and bonded to panels fabricated of aluminum and composites. While the Phantom is a behemoth as far as weight, the aluminum used in the structure helps reduce weight a bit and gives it a rigid structure to eliminate body flags. Everything on the Phantom is hand assembled and finished. For example, the paint is applied by hand and sanded by hand between coats. Then the final product is hand polished for hours to absolute perfection. Optional pinstripes are evenly applied by a squirrel hair brush and can take a few hours for each stripe. All things considered, the vehicle's size alone makes it a true Rolls-Royce. At almost 20 feet long, the car is 2 feet longer than a BMW 7 Series, can swallow a compact car within its body, and it's longer than a Ford Excursion. It's 78.3 inches wide and 64.5 inches high, with a total curb weight of around 5,500 pounds. So now that we've laid a bit of background out for Rolls-Royce, let's elaborate on what makes the Series 2 different from the Series 1. Like I mentioned earlier, for the most part changes are minor, but when noticed they make a big difference in emphasizing the car's elegant lines. The proportions and overall vehicle profile remain unchanged. It's the lines, lamps, and auxiliary openings that were carefully refined. The changes are also meant to simplify the car. Parts that were made of multiple pieces are now made of one. For example, the grille is now made from a single piece of stainless steel, where before it was 3-piece. The chrome fender side markers are also now 1 piece, where they were 2-piece prior. Many of the sharp crease lines of the Series 1 have been smoothed out to give more curves and a softer look. Gone are the round fog lamps up front and replaced by rectangular chrome-accented LED lamps. There's also new adaptive LED headlamps with automatic high beams and LED daytime running lamps that give a fantastic modern look but remain simple and elegant to look at. The front and rear clips have also been smoothed out and tucked onto the body. Lower chrome trim up front is meant to draw the eye across the whole profile, and the wheel arches are also the same height in the front as well as the back, giving it a sure-footed stance, highlighted by a variety of new wheel options. And we're going to pop the hood. The Phantom is powered by a 6 3/4 liter naturally aspirated 48-valve V12 with direct fuel injection and aluminum block and heads. Puts out 453 brake horsepower at 5,350 RPM and 531 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. That's enough to bring this nearly 6,000-pound car up to 60 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds and a quarter-mile time of around 14.3 seconds at 98 miles per hour. Top speed is also electronically governed to 149 miles per hour. With the new 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, shifts are fluid and so seamless that you don't even realize it, even more so than the previous 6-speed, almost as if the car has an infinite first gear. But what's also nice is that it helped improve fuel economy a bit. With a 26.4-gallon tank on required premium gas, expect to get around 12 miles per gallon in the city and 24 on the highway. The Phantom sets the definition of what it truly means to have a world-class interior. Nothing short of the finest leathers, wools, woods, and materials are selected. It's nearly impossible to find any plastic used, and everything is crafted in a beautiful combination of old-world tradition with modern convenience and technology. Everything is also customizable. You want your initials embedded in the wood veneers? No problem. Any color combination is possible, and nothing is out of the realm of possibilities. The best part about the overall design is that all of the technologies and features are seamlessly integrated. Whether it be hidden or inconspicuously placed, it's a very simple layout with great function that doesn't disrupt the overall flow of the design and tradition that a Rolls evokes. In constructing the interior, it takes about 18 hides to cover the supple seats, panels, and consoles. The seats feel like a comfy lounge chair and can be had in a variety of styles, such as this one with the Rolls-Royce monogram stitched on the headrest and color accent piping. All the power adjustments are found in the center console, but more on that later. A plethora of airbags make sure all occupants are properly protected, and there's also over 40 individual panels of wood found throughout the entire interior. They're all hand-finished and book-matched for perfect integrating. Book-matching is a process in which two pieces of wood are joined together to blend the natural grain and form a continuous panel. The final veneered product is then hand-polished to a deep gloss. The dash is even constructed out of a single piece of magnesium, so there's no squeaky joints or movable parts, and completely wrapped in leather and wood veneer. The headliner is then finished off in a combination of wool and cashmere.
So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. You'll also note to the left, the vehicle actually doesn't have a traditional tachometer, but a power reserve meter. So, when you're accelerating and the like, it'll show you how much power you actually have left out of the vehicle for more high-speed maneuvering. I'm going to shut her up. You'll notice the glass actually slowed down a little bit before it got to the top, so it eases itself closed instead of making any thud or any excess noise. By far one of the most quiet interiors I've ever sat in. Not a single vibration transfers into the cabin. Now the Phantom comes standard with a 15-speaker premium Lexicon surround sound system fed through a modified version of BMW's new generation iDrive interface, telemetrics, mobile media, as well as navigation. All controlled with very traditional switchgear. Your side curtain airbags, bespoke wool and cashmere headliner like you saw earlier, as well as leather accented grip handles. Auto dimming rear view mirror with integrated garage home link, and the chrome accented top stack houses your interior illumination, all LED. The middle button here controls all the ambient interior illumination, such as up top here, all of the door handles illuminate, as well as the little opera lights in the little windows in the seat pillar. Down below here you have traditional toggle switches for your trunk release, raising or lowering the vehicle for the pneumatic air ride suspension, as well as activating your rear view camera and other parking sensors. Controls for your full power sunroof are located up here. Now, just like Bentley, Rolls-Royce is a very traditional automaker. Definitely evokes that styling in the dash. Solid metal air vents finished in bright chrome, and you can open and close the registers via the little toggle switches coming in across the wood grain panel. Now, like I said, the mobile media interface is basically the same thing as BMW's iDrive system, but refreshed a little bit for Rolls-Royce's application. All the controller is hidden away in that little compartment there, with all the different commands for the different menus. Toggle button in the middle, up, down, left, and right to go between the different menus and sub-menus, down for enter, radio, multimedia, activating the main menu, telephone, map, vehicle options, as well as a back button. All extremely simple to use. Radio, for example, scrolling through the available stations. Different modes, satellite radio, weather band.
Miles an hour after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny. High.
tone, changing the surround sound settings, as well as your other equalizers. CD multimedia, so you have a CD changer, Bluetooth and free streaming of audio. It's a hard drive based system, so you can load up MP3 files, as well as auxiliary, other MP3 devices, and iPod integration. Pretty flexible. Your Bluetooth telephone, voice dialing, storing contacts, messages, as well as your beautiful navigation screen with real-time traffic updates. Destination, all very simple. And you can do this next thing on any of the screens, but if you click the wheel all the way over to the right, it'll bring up your screen options. You can split screen the system, so you can always view your onboard info or navigation. You can choose the content that you want it to display, so you can always listen to the radio while your navigation screen's on the right-hand side. So that's pretty nice. Back to the main menu. Office for those business-oriented individuals. Load up applications, concierge services, roadside assistance, as well as an SOS emergency roadside assistance system that can be activated from the back of the vehicle. I'll show that when we get to the back seat. Vehicle status and onboard info, as well as system settings. All the personalizable options. But those are all the basic functions of the multimedia interface in the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Like I said, all those commands can also be accessed via those buttons. As far as the middle portion of the dash, your lock and unlock is here, volume and radio power. This opens up your glove box, as well as your upper storage. The upper storage is actually lockable. Up here, you have all of your preset stations for your radio, tune. If you wanted to just turn the screen off and bring up the clock, just hit that little button there. Beautiful analog unit. Change between FM, AM, mobile media, as well as activation of your front split view camera for unparalleled ease of parking. As far as your multi-function steering wheel, you have your radio controls, hands-free voice commands, as well as some of the system menus you can activate, such as your navigation, telephone, go between your preset stations, as well as your volume. Activation of your voice commands. Help.
To obtain the voice commands of the displayed panel, say Voice Commands. To obtain general information on voice activation, say Help with voice activation. To obtain important short commands with examples, say Help with examples.
And you gotta love the British accent. Cruise control down below, your wipers down below here, and a beautiful yet simple analog gauge cluster with minimal distractions. But you also have an integrated driver information system you can activate from this stalk. It'll show up right there. Just all of your basic information. And your power tilt telescoping steering wheel is located off to the right here. Coming down the smooth center console, little storage cabinet, as well as a 4-zone climate control system. Your defrost is controlled by this little toggle switch here. Very traditional, not too many accessory electronic gadgets. But what's also neat about this application is you can actually split the temperature from top and below for both the front passengers as well as the back, so it's total customization. Independent fan speed adjustment for both the driver and passenger. And down below, you have your recycled air, rear defrost, as well as turning on and off your AC. All accented in a high gloss wood veneer housing and leather on the outside. All of the main knobs are also accented in leather. Gives a beautiful soft touch. Down below you have a little storage tray or cup holders. Ladder and ashtray or a power outlet. Like I told you about earlier, all of your power seat adjustments, heated seat functions located on the side. The buttons are oriented as the seats are, so if you have the bottom cushion selected, move the little toggle switch, it'll slide it back and forth. Same thing with recline, as well as the 4-way power lumbar adjustment. You also have 2-person memory for both sides, and a little bit of storage. Down below in here, you have space for an integrated cellular phone, 12-volt power outlet, auxiliary, as well as USB integration. Also entirely lined in leather, 2-tone, and illuminated. Absolutely stunning automobile. Go ahead and shut her down. The automatic tilt telescoping steering wheel automatically comes up to allow easier exit. And we're going to check out the back seat. Entering the back seat, you'll instantly notice the Rolls-Royce signature suicide doors. Gives the vehicle such a commanding presence. Very unique, something you don't normally see this day and age. Just as the front, the door panels, as well as many of the other surfaces, are completely wrapped in leather. Wood trim gracing up across the top. Detailed stitching coming across and down. Ladder, power outlet, and ashtray. As well as your climate control adjustment for each of the rear passengers. In each of the rear doors, there's also an integrated umbrella. Push that to pop it out. With the Rolls-Royce insignia located on the bottom. Plush wool floor mats. As well as a full bench seat. Definitely fit for chauffeuring. If needed, there's a little power adjustment here to slide the driver's seat forward. Large C-pillars with little quarter windows, as well as vanity mirrors. The back headliner, while the front is a combination of wool and cashmere, the back is completely wrapped out of leather. Now, a part of the surround sound system, you do have a speaker up there, but also the controls for the vehicle's emergency roadside assistance system. Now, suicide doors aren't the easiest things to close from the inside of the vehicle, so what Rolls-Royce did, they put a power actuated mechanism. Problem solved. Back seat room is enormous, and this isn't even the extended wheelbase version. There's about 10 extra inches of rear space in that particular model. Your rear air registers, 2 power outlets, as well as a rear CD player with headphone jacks. The radio can be muted from either of the rear doors. And there's also some integrated picnic trays. Wood veneer and chrome, but what's even more unique is they fold out to a little display. Open up the center console here, and it's another iDrive interface. So rather than go through the entire thing again, this is basically the exact same thing as the front. Scroll through it all. Navigation. Just a little bit different resolution. But you can control everything. It's quite neat. Definitely adds a little bit of increased functionality for the rear passengers. And then you have your volume control. Pretty nice. A few more air registers on the B-pillar. Some more of the wool and cashmere headliner. Nice bespoke visors. As well as the controls for your rear illumination and an ambient interior lighting, kind of like you saw in the front. There's also a little bit of ambient light in that little quarter window up there. Beautiful. Down below you have your heated seats, as well as cup holders. See, the seats actually wrap around the body panel here, so you can almost kind of fall into the corner, put your arm on the armrest. It's amazingly comfortable. Go Go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we?
The Phantom comes standard naturally with a full power liftgate, with a little bit of polished aluminum entry guard trim, also fully lined in plush carpet, and there's about 16.2 cubic feet of cargo space. Down below there's two different wells, one for storage on the left and one on the right that houses your little roadside assistance kit, first aid kit, as well as two batteries. One battery for the engine, another battery for the interior electronics.
Like I said, this button here opens up the bottom portion of your glove box, and then the upper portion. Illuminated, leather lined. You can lock the trunk, set your clock, as well as automatically or manually lower and raise the Spirit of Ecstasy.
Rolls-Royce has always been the pinnacle of the automotive hyper-luxury market. With bespoke design and the newly added technological innovations and styling refreshments found in the Series 2, Rolls-Royce further embodies their philosophy of building the best cars in the world. Here's to another 100 years.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 2013 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.